We started, Leonard.
Oh, okay, but it's not.
It's not time yet.
It's changed yet. Okay, not time yet. Let's see if we could refresh. Maybe that'll do the job.
You just go back to your documents.
Okay.
I'll take care of the chat room, Leonard.
Thank you. Okay.
It's on already. It's on, Leonard.
Oh, there you go. How's the sound? There you go. Welcome. Yeah.
I said it already, okay?
Sound is good. Okay, she said it.
I already told you.
Good morning, you all. On a 4th of July weekend. That's right, the 4th of July.
Happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday, America. No question about it. How's the sound, everybody?
There were fireworks all night last night.
Oh,
that really puts a damper on our early to bed stuff that we have going on.
But wait a second. Aren't there fireworks every night? And she laughs. Okay, fireworks every night. Good morning, everybody, and let's get
There's not fireworks every night.
Right to it. It's the lady and the legend right here on Lenny Melnick Fantasy, whatever it is.com, and we're ready to go in Tampa. Randy Arozarena gets his wish. He was lobbying all week to be in the home run derby, and he is in it. But the guy I want to see is Shohei Ohtani. If he doesn't do what's good for baseball, I am no longer a Shohei Ohtani fan.
Oh, give me a break.
Well, come on. It's good for baseball. You put Ohtani in the home run derby, and baseball fans will love it. I mean, so many more people will tune in if Ohtani's... I mean, look, I'll ask you. You going to watch the home run derby?
Yes. And I also think that I'm surprised that more players don't want to be involved in it. It looks really fun. It just looks like a great time. All the kids are there. It's just a happy day.
But they say it changes their swing, and some players after the home run derby are not quite as good.
Bobo's here. Hey, Bobo.
Bobo's here. Boston Paul, Chris Gallo, Eddie Heckman, Jimmy Caprion, King Hap, post 1958. Rotorius, SM King Turd, All-Star Dog, Tommy Johnson.
Unholy's here?
Holy cow, Unholy Toledo getting a triple play. Unholy Toledo and the Dogs getting up for the weekends. Are you kidding me? That's fantastic. Last time that happened was in 1921. Okay?
I loved it. I loved Unholy Toledo's breakfast yesterday.
Good morning, yes. Yeah, he sends us a picture of his breakfast. That's good. SM King Turd live from Waco, Texas.
Waco, Leonard.
I call it Waco.
Beautiful place, by the way.
It's very beautiful. We hope to get there soon. So let's see what happens. Now, Aaron Judge. Now, this is going to be interesting. Has resumed baseball activities. But expectations for his return, according to still remain a mystery. I have a lot to say about this. What do you have to say?
Go ahead and say it then.
Go ahead and say it. Aaron Judge, in my humble opinion, will be out for the rest of the season.
And the fact that he's started baseball activities does not tell me that the expectations are a mystery. He's resumed baseball activities.
Yeah, he's resumed because he wants to get back into shape. He wants to, change. He wants to get out of this injury, but he will not be ready to play Major League Baseball until next year.
It's a freaking toe. If he's resumed baseball...
It's a tear.
Let me tell you something. I looked it up. I know I'm not a doctor.
You're not a doctor, but has he had surgery?
No, and that's what... Can I finish my thought?
Go ahead. Good morning, Big Al.
When we learned that he tore a ligament in his toe, I looked it up, okay?
I don't care what you did. Go ahead, finish. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm good.
Sorry.
I'm good. I'm ready to go to the next thing. It's just unbelievable.
You
don't let me finish.
I will.
And I have something.
I apologize. Go ahead.
You just want to sit here and claim that he's not coming back like every other ridiculous sport vulture media writer. But the point is, There is only two things. It either heals on its own or you have a doctor put it back in place, because when the ligament tears, sometimes you need surgery. That was the only reason that a person would be out for the rest of the season. My opinion on this is not from an expert opinion, but I could tell you it's more researched than these idiot sports writers who go out there and just willy-nilly like to say things that don't make sense.
Well, I say if you have Aaron Judge, and you know that there are players that can help you in certain categories, do you market Aaron Judge now?
Who the hell is going to buy Aaron Judge?
Well, that's those people who think he's coming back.
Well, if he resumed baseball activities on a toe that needed surgeries, that would not make sense, right?
Well, maybe you're right.
He would have already had the surgery if he needed it.
So what would you do if you have Aaron Judge? Would you hold
You
on to him?
gotta keep him. Put him on the injured list and quit crying.
But if you're being offered certain players that can help your team in categories, would you make that deal?
It depends, Lenny.
No,
on
it
a
depends.
lot of things. It depends on an individual situation.
Okay. Are you sure? I would market Aaron Judge. Simple as that.
What do you want back from him? C.J. Cron?
I don't know.
Are you going to be happy? Who would you be happy getting back for Aaron Judge injured?
Depends on the categories I'm needing.
Okay, let's say you need stolen bases.
Yeah, I don't.
Who are you going to bring back for him?
I don't. I can't.
I mean,
answer the question
you're
in
saying
terms
that
of names.
Put him up for sale.
I
but
talk in terms of categories. If you can get the categories you need to move you up in the standings, absolutely trade Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
And I don't care who the players are.
But your theory and these people's theory that he's not coming back, and they like to throw out there, oh, it's just a mystery. No, it's not. If he's on his toe, he doesn't need surgery. How long does it take to heal a toe?
You might be right, but I don't know. Anyway,
we don't know. That's the thing. We don't know.
The Tigers' plan for Eduardo Rodriguez is to return and start Wednesday against the A's. And that's pretty good. And Eduardo Rodriguez could be part of the headline starters in the trade market. Giolito, Bieber.
It's funny that they... And what team? Okay, Snell is on the Padres.
Yeah.
Montgomery pitches for the Cardinals. So they list also here. Now, Erod, it makes sense to me that Erod could be traded because Kansas City...
I don't think Giolito will be traded.
The Tigers are no good.
Okay.
But Giolito and Bieber, it's another thing that just makes me question what the hell these people are thinking.
Yeah.
I get that the writers are saying that Giolito, they already said they're not bringing him back, but I just find it hard to believe that any management would tell the player that they're not going to sign him next year. So keep playing well for us and pitching well for us, but we don't want you next year. I just don't think that's even feasible. Also, Giolito and Bieber on two teams that might not be great, but they're the American League Central and they're contending for first place in that division. How can you start trading guys like Giolito and Bieber?
Well, these are
you want your fans to be so pissed off they don't come to watch the games?
Remember, these are called rumors.
Exactly, they're based on junk.
Dedicated facts. These are rumors.
They're based on junk.
And the only one that I would follow would be Stardog, who last night did his research and homework by watching the Andy Griffin Show. Okay, so whatever Stardog says. Stardog.
What about McClanahan back on the injured list?
Oh, God. He was the prime candidate to start the All-Star game for the second straight year.
There's a lot of guys that, I don't know. It's hard to say that he was the prime candidate to start the game.
Well, I think who's better in the American League? There's not too many better.
That's true.
Not too many goes on the 15-day injured list, but
back tightness is bad, right?
Not surprised.
There's two injuries that are really bad for pitchers.
Yeah.
Back and arm.
I agree. Well, no question about it. Now, we're all expecting the Angels to turn it around in their quest for Shohei Ohtani. It's not likely the Angels are going to have a chance to re-sign Ohtani if they're not doing well in the standings. And against the Diamondbacks, they lost their fourth straight game.
Chris from Cambridge. He says he feels like he's eavesdropping from the next room because normally people don't fight like us on air.
We're not fighting.
No, we're just having a discussion.
This is how we play. All right, Angels go quietly against the Diamondbacks. They lose their 4th straight game. What do you... Stop it.
Ohtani and Trout win a combined 0 for 7 with 5 strikeouts. And Anthony Rendon hit a solo home run. That was the Angels' only run, though, against the Diamondbacks yesterday. And they lost their 4th straight game, which I'm sure you just said.
Good morning to Malpal. The final offensive numbers for Shohei Ohtani in the month of June: 25 extra base hits, 21 walks, 15 home runs, and he becomes the first player in Major League history to have at least 25 extra base hits, 20 walks, 15 home runs in a single month.
Yeah, and you know what? He's hit 15 homers since Aaron Judge's last at bat.
Really?
It's true.
Since Aaron Judge's last at bat, Ohtani's hit 15 homers. Shows you where we're going in baseball. And thank you, everybody, for coming into the chat room. Danny Fuller is here, post-1958. Rotorius, Tommy Johnson. Look at this chat room. It is busting. Big Al is here as well. So there you go. Andy's turning the air conditioner on. She turned the air conditioner off. The Oakland A's went 10-16 in the month of June. That's better than many expected.
Well, it's better than 7 other teams.
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
And, well, you know, Atlanta, they are on the opposite side of that. They went 21-4 in June. They picked up 15 games on the Mets.
Yeah, that's right. Then Cincinnati, they were 26-33 and in 3rd place. On the morning of June 5th, they ended the month going 18-15 to move into 1st place. How about that? But you know, I've been a Met fan since day one. Since the day I remember sitting and listening to the draft, the expansion draft, the Mets and the Angels, and the Mets picked up their number 1 pick ever in the expansion draft was a catcher named Hobie Landreth, and he was just a reserve. He was a catcher. He wasn't even a good catcher. And when
Isn't
Casey,
that like Josh Donaldson?
no, Hobie Landreth was just a catcher.
Okay.
And when Casey Stengel was asked, why did you pick Hobie Landreth, he said, we needed somebody to catch the ball after the pitcher throws. That's what he said. And since then, the Mets have never been the same.
Do I have to? It's your turn. I can't stand this guy. Dude, I'm on a rampage today.
I love John Heyman.
For what
I
reason?
love him because he's a real person.
He's a freaking ridiculous.
He does his work.
He does his work.
He does his
He's
work.
never right.
He's right plenty. The only time he was really wrong.
He's wrong all the time, Leonard.
Was when I was standing next to him in an exhibition game, and I whispered to Irwin's Willing that Don Mattingly was going to the Cardinals, and that appeared in Heyman's column the next day. That's the only time he was wrong. But
okay,
he said,
here's what he says.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You repeat it.
There
okay?
is something going on in this Met clubhouse that isn't right. You know what? He's right.
Yeah, they're not winning.
The Mets clubhouse is a shambles. All right?
You know what? You don't know what's going on in there because you're not even allowed in there.
That's what he said. There's something going on, but it's obvious.
They're not winning, so of course they're not having a great time in the clubhouse. But when you say stuff like there's something going on that isn't right, it's like...
Well, he's in the clubhouse.
Are they doing cocaine in there or something? Are they fist fighting?
No, they may not be talking to each other. They may not be.
Maybe they're having
around.
Bad time right now.
There's no camaraderie.
Pete Alonso is supposed to be a leader on that team, and he is so pissed off that it's affecting him on the field. He's committed 2 errors in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
He's throwing little tantrums, breaking his bat. And so when Pete Alonso does that, I'm sure that it makes other people, shy away and just kind of like keep to themselves. But what do you expect from the clubhouse that is supposed to be right in there? Are they supposed to be doing like huddles and shit?
Well,
and,
you're right about Alonso.
Cheering each other on?
When the Mets started 14-7, Alonso was hitting, 290 something? with 10 homers, 23 RBIs, and in the 52 games since, they were 14-7. Pete Alonso is hitting 190 with a 447 slugging. Now, if you're in the market, do you put Pete Alonso up for sale? Or do you go after Pete Alonso knowing he's not going to be that thinking he's going to turn it around?
He's batting 190 in 52 games.
Do you think he's going to turn it around?
Yes.
Or do you think that it's time to trade Alonso?
You know what? I'm not a fan of trading a lot. So, no, I'm not giving up on Alonso.
But what do you advise?
You're not going to get enough back for him to make you happy. It's like when you trade a guy like Soto when he's not doing well. You're trading him with the impression, in your mind, he's the Soto of 30 home runs and a 300 batting average. But in the other guy's mind that you're trying to trade with, Soto's in a slump and he needs to be less valued. So it makes it almost impossible to do a trade for somebody like Pete Alonso.
You have Soto, right?
I traded for him.
You traded
but
for
I gave
him.
up Riley for him.
All right.
Which is not working out. It's just another trade that doesn't work out for me. And I'm not here to cry about my fantasy teams, but I do like to bitch.
Well, yes, you do. The bitch likes to bitch. Okay. Francisco Lindor threw 83 games this year, 225. But listen to this. 19 doubles, 17 homers, 55 RBIs. I'll tell you what, last year he was hitting 240 with 11 doubles, 14 homers, 58 RBIs. It all seems that Lindor...
He's doing a lot better this year.
He's going to have a bust-out year.
He's most likely going to have a good second half. Lindor, absolutely. I know Eddie traded Gausman for Lindor.
Yes, he did.
That can be argued, but I think that Lindor is a good bet for the second half of the season for sure.
Now, what kind of a fantasy player until this year?
You never liked Brandon Nimmo.
Not as a fantasy player.
I have always liked him.
Not as a fantasy player.
Well, I read Ron Chandler a lot.
Okay.
And I like his projecting system, Babs.
All right. Yeah. What does he say about Nimmo?
Nimmo has always been, number one, he bats leadoff. And number two, his on-base percentage has always been good. But over the past couple seasons, he's shown that he could break out with his power, that he's improved each season on his power. If he could stay healthy, which is what he's doing now, he's still batting leadoff. His on-base percentage is through the roof. This guy is great for on-base percentage leagues, and he always goes late in drafts, which I don't know what will happen next year, but it looks like right now he is absolutely going to eclipse his career high of home runs easily. And even though the Mets are struggling, Brandon Nimmo still... He is like a set-it-and-forget-it player in fantasy, and he doesn't be flashy in home runs. He doesn't steal bases, but he absolutely gets the job done as far as helping out with your percentage numbers and stuff.
The home run that he hit in the third inning was his hardest hit long ball of his career. Hardest hit.
Do you still not like Nimmo?
Nimmo, he's got 8 home runs in his last 21 games. He's on pace for 23. His career high is 17.
Okay, but Steve, can you give me some credit on this one? You might have been wrong about Nimmo.
No, Jersey George has joined us.
No, that's Jeremy.
Oh, that's
this
Jeremy?
Says Jeremy George.
Oh, Jeremy George. Okay.
Lenny needs new glasses.
I don't know what I'm talking about now. Okay.
Okay. Well, welcome aboard. Okay.
There's a lot of things I need new, but anyway, look, I don't know about Nimmo as a fantasy player, as an all-around baseball player, including his defense. Yes, he's much improved. As a fantasy player, I'm not paying more than $12 for him.
I see you snuck in. Look, Justin Verlander. Yeah. Thank goodness this guy is finally coming around.
Oh,
I have to say, I've been very disappointed, but I just keep leaving him in my roster, in my active lineup, just every week. You look at when you're trying to figure out, you have a pitcher on the bench or whatever, and you think, okay, I need to replace somebody in my active lineup, and Justin Verlander has been constantly the worst pitcher I have. But I just can't take him out because I know as soon as I do, he'll start pitching good. But he is pitching good, okay? He had a handful of really mediocre starts. He pitched 7 great innings against the Giants yesterday, and he got his ERA down now to 3.66. and he's allowed 5 runs in his last 4 starts over 25 innings. So Verlander is coming back. And listen, as much as you want to hate the Mets, I do think that this could help the Mets, and it could help Max Scherzer, and it could help everybody on this team if Verlander is the leader that they pay him so much money to be.
Jeremy George in the chat room wants to know, in a points league, head-to-head, do we accept Matt Chapman and Alex Verdugo for Bobby Witt? Okay, yes.
Okay, he's got Yelich, Tucker, and Teoscar Hernandez for his 3 outfielders.
Yeah.
So why would you take another outfielder in Verdugo? Who's going to play for Bobby Witt? Who's going to replace Bobby Witt? That's tough to replace.
And who does Chapman replace?
Because none of these positions are the same, right?
The question is, who does Chapman replace?
And who replaces Bobby Witt?
And who replaces Bobby Witt? It's always, this is the hard part about answering questions.
So, yeah, give us some more info there. Let's figure this out.
Without a phone call.
Absolutely.
There's just so much. What do you think of we talked about Nimmo, good-looking youngster. What about Anthony Volpe?
Dude, I'm waiting for Peraza. So Volpe's having a great streak right now. He was batting 195 entering the Yankees' current road trip. But during this road trip that they're on, he's had multiple hits in 5 straight games. Okay?
Yeah.
He's doing good.
Okay.
All right?
Chapman
replaces Witt. So he must have him at the corner.
Okay, Chapman replaces Witt, and Chapman replaces
What
Witt.
about his stolen bases? How are you doing in stolen bases?
Yeah,
You're going to give up
question.
some stolen bases. If you check out the standings in stolen bases and see how far the next guy down is right behind you.
You're going to need the steals with Witt.
Well, we don't know. Maybe he's like leading the league in stolen bases and he doesn't need it.
That's a good question.
You got to find out how many stolen bases you can.
Is Mookie Betts the best player in baseball? Is he the best player
I like him.
in baseball?
He bowls. You know, Malpal's wife Tina loves Mookie Betts.
Zelmo is here. Good morning to Dr. Z. Nice to see Zelmo. Okay?
He bowls. Okay, is he the best player in baseball? No. I have to say Ohtani is the best player in baseball.
Okay. Better than Betts? Okay.
Yes, but Betts is going crazy, so yes.
But he had a streak of 15 straight plate appearances. Now, think about that.
Oh, he gets points. This is a points league.
Yeah, 15 consecutive plate appearances without having a hitless. He went 7 for 7 and 6 walks and 2 sacrifices during that stretch. That is the longest streak by any major league player in 50 years. Crazy stuff, right? Crazy stuff. Now
Tim Anderson.
Yeah, I didn't, I do my homework, the whole thing. Tim Anderson, after 300 at-bats, has no home runs. Zach Greinke has 5, but I thought Tim Anderson had a home run with a grand slam.
I don't know. Greinke has 5 home runs because we haven't had pitchers hitting for a couple years.
Yeah, but 300 at-bats, Zach Greinke has 5 home runs. But look, Tim Anderson is having one of the worst seasons ever. From a player that I have a lot of respect for. In June, he hit 152 and made 6 errors. You cannot be much worse than that. And he had the grand slam. Hits a grand slam. And I'm saying, okay, now, here he comes. And I find out they take it away. What could be any worse than having a grand slam taken away when it was your first home run of the year? Andy? Anything?
I wasn't listening.
I know. Lewis Robert, 11 home runs in June, 16 RBIs. But what do you do with Julio Urias? Is now the time, here again, because everybody's trading and making trades, do you put Julio Urias? I thought he was going to be the best pitcher in baseball. Urias, 5 runs on 4 hits, needed 35 pitches to get through the first inning. But I'll ask this question. If you have Urias and people want him, do you trade him or do you go after Julio Urias?
I'm not listening to you.
Now the Dodger defense didn't help him. understand. Urias didn't have as bad a game as it seemed.
Yeah, well, he took 35 pitches to get through the first
35 pitches, but Miguel Vargas caught a ball that should have been James Outman's. Will Smith missed the tag at home. Multiple bloops dropped in. Urias was asked what he was thinking after allowing 5 runs on an assortment of bloops and bad luck. He says, I pitched bad. Okay, I didn't pitch that bad. So 3 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, bad luck, and the Dodgers defense didn't help. So I'm telling you, I will go after Julio Urias right now, today. Every day something happens, it affects how people think about their players.
Yes, absolutely.
Scott Barlow came in to face Mookie Betts.
So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
With the now you're talking when I'm not.
Now I'm paying attention.
Barlow is speculated to be a piece of the Kansas City problem that would be moved at the trade deadline, and they already have gotten a lot of offers from the Dodgers. Are definitely looking for Scott Barlow, and he'll get some saves if he signs with LA.
Yeah, well, that's why you brought up the whole, Scott Barlow facing Mookie Betts, because there's a good chance that the Dodgers are looking for a closer.
Yep.
All right. Luis Robert, did you already say that?
Yeah, I already said a lot of things, but what are you doing?
I'm helping Jeremy with his team.
Oh, very good. Help me with my radio show. The Reds, another dramatic performance on Friday night. First time since at least 1961, a team had 3 game-tying or go-ahead base hits and extra innings. Unbelievable.
From rookies.
McLean, Steer, and De La Cruz.
Yes.
It's crazy.
You want to talk about this Harrison Bader, Jordan Montgomery trade, but I don't really see which side stands out the most. I guess it would be Montgomery's doing better than Bader.
Well, Montgomery, since the trade, 27 he's not done as well as I thought.
Well, he's got a 3.35 ERA.
Yeah, and Harrison Bader's just starting to hit. He's
only got
homers,
6 homers.
31. He's just started to play, so I don't know.
Here's an interesting tidbit.
Go ahead.
Domingo Germán, we're talking about this guy who has gone 62 consecutive starts of less than 100 pitches. It's the longest streak in the pitch tracking era, okay? Now, he just pitched a perfect game, and I had to, go look this up because it's hard to believe that he literally pitched a perfect game in 99 pitches. So, this is not a knock on Domingo Germán at all. I don't know why anybody's rooting for him to go over 100 pitches. I mean, the fact that he is so efficient in his pitch count is absolutely something that people should strive to be. I mean, you got pitchers out there that are being yanked after the 4th inning because they've already thrown 100 pitches. This guy got through an inning the other night with 10 pitches. It's like the perfect inning, 1 pitch over the minimum. And seriously, I don't know why people are rooting so hard for Germán to pitch more than 100, to throw more than 100 pitches in an outing when this guy just literally threw 9 innings in 99 pitches.
He never throws 100 pitches.
Well, he doesn't need to.
That's his game. Josh Hader doesn't throw 100 pitches. He threw 2 innings in an outing in 2019, and that's the last time he threw 2 innings.
Well, why should he? He's a closer now.
Yeah, but he's got a problem, okay?
What's his problem?
He's got a problem. He can't go more than an inning.
Nobody that plays fantasy gives
You'll
a
see.
shit about his problem.
Josh Hader is going to be traded. You can almost guarantee. Now, Oakland went 10-16 in the month of June. That was better than... All right, Oakland. Now, this surprised me. Oakland's been criticized all year. They went 10-16 in June, better than 7 teams. Atlanta went 21-4 in June, picking up 15 games in the standings. Cincinnati did good, but Oakland went 10-16, better than 7 teams. How about that?
Yes, okay. Juan Soto.
Yes.
Finally hit his 140th career home run in his 700th career game on yesterday. Mm-hmm. He's one of 3 players since 1900 to hit at least 140 home runs and walk at least 500 times.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, you're right.
Within their first 700 career games, Ted Williams, he's in these tidbits a lot, dude. Ted Williams is a great player, okay? That's it.
And so was Frank. Patrick Bailey, you know who he is?
Yeah, the catcher for the Giants, the backup catcher.
He made his debut May 19th, and since Patrick Bailey has entered the Giants lineup, they're 26-13.
I know, right?
Okay.
Well, it could be a coincidence.
You think so?
I don't know.
How about...
Nelson Cruz got a hit yesterday on his birthday.
Well, that's okay.
But he's 43, and he's the oldest player with a hit on his birthday since Barry Bonds did it, okay?
Yeah, Pete Rose was 43, did it in April of 1948.
84.
It wasn't 1948.
Tommy Pham, dude.
Tommy Pham is coming on. If you have a chance to get him, he's batting in the month of June, .341, 6 homers, 18 RBIs.
Nice guy. He's not a nice guy.
Who, Tommy Pham?
Anyway,
why is he not a nice guy?
I don't know.
All right, you want to get to the games?
Yes.
You want to get to the games?
Yes, Leonard.
Let's get to the games, otherwise we'll have no time for it. There's one thing. The Bauer outage. That's right. Bauer pitched 6 innings, 10 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. His velocity was still sitting between 98 and 99 on his 105th pitch.
Yeah, because he stays in shape. I'm glad you finally pull up a Trevor Bauer tidbit that's not negative.
Okay.
Because he's not having that bad of a season, all right?
There it is. Okay. We're going to the games, everybody. Thanks to Zelmo and Holy Toledo, the Triple Play, the Tommy Johnson, All-Star Dog, SM King Territorius, the Post 1958, and Merrill is here. Malpal, Leonard Donaldson, Jeremy George, King Hap, James Caplion, Eddie Hackman, whoa! Danny Fuller, Chris Gallo, whoa! Everybody's here. Boston Paul, Big Al, Chris from Cambridge. Let me tell you something.
Juan Soto hit a tiebreaker.
Yes, Bobo is here. Nobody loves
And Laura's back. We love Laura.
Where's Laura?
She's back.
She is back?
She was back, yeah.
No, that was Leonard Donaldson.
Oh.
I don't think Laura's back.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Well, we still love Laura, and we know she listens on demand.
There you go. Cincinnati, San Diego.
Juan Soto hit a tie-breaking 3-run homer in the 6th. Manny Machado, whoop-de-doo. Macho Man is back with his 2 home runs. Okay. And the Padres stopped a 6-game losing streak with a 12-5 win over the Reds.
Soto had 4 RBIs. Machado and Tatis had 3. The Padres have not lost 7 in a row since 2021. And Tatis, 40 RBIs in 63 games since he returned from his 80-game drug suspension.
Yeah, and Waka pitched on his 32nd birthday yesterday. So Waka and Nelly Cruz have the same birthday. He won his 3rd straight decision, 1 run, 5 hits, 5 innings. That was his first outing since June 19th. San Diego, sadly, had fallen 8 games below 500 for the first time since 2019.
Easy, Malpal. Easy, Malpal.
Hang on, Malpal.
And Motzinger, where's J.R. Matz? Cincinnati surged into the National League Central League. They've only lost 4 times in 19 games.
J.R. Matz is probably hungover after his wrestling-themed birthday party yesterday.
J.R. Matz and his kids going crazy.
I love that family. Okay, Ellie De La Cruz. He made an error. That's going to happen no matter what. But Soto got his 15th homer. That's great. San Diego hit back-to-back homers for the 4th time this season, but first since April 29th.
And you can expect it because Machado has 2 multi-home run games this season, and he's got 35 in his big league career.
Jonathan India hit a grand slam against Luis Garcia. That was his grand slam number 2 of his career. San Diego is 0-7 in extra innings after they lost on Friday. The last time the Padres did not win an extra inning game before the All-Star break was 1980.
Whoa. That's pretty good. The Yankees played St. Louis in a doubleheader.
But wait, Andrew Abbott goes tonight. Don't you like Abbott?
Yeah, I like Abbott.
He goes against.
He's doing good.
He's going against Darvish.
He's going against Yu Darvish, not against Costello. Okay, but Paul Goldschmidt A go-ahead 3-run homer off Luis Severino. Flaherty, this is a good sign. So many teams need Jack Flaherty. Pitched 6 shutout innings. Rain interrupted doubleheader. Unbelievable. Goldschmidt. It's unbelievable how bad the Cardinals are. 4 RBIs. Nolan Gorman homered. St. Louis reached double-digit runs for the first time since May 21st.
Josh Donaldson made his big league mound debut, and he got 3 straight outs. It only took him 11 pitches for 3 outs, okay? Josh Donaldson.
Yeah, but the pitcher you are really watching, Flaherty, won his second straight. He had not won in his previous 5 starts. He allowed 4 hits, struck out 4, gave up 6 runs in each of his 2 previous outings. So Flaherty's last 9 starts, St. Louis is 7-2.
Yes. All right, Severino. He actually had a good outing last time. He was coming off 6 shutout innings against Texas, but he gave up 7 runs and 9 hits over 4 innings. His ERA is now 6.30 on the season. His 56 fastballs average 95 miles an hour. That's down 1.5 miles an hour from his season average. Yep. But I still think Severino can turn it around. He needs his buddy Pedro Martinez to come and help him a little bit. Get him back on track.
I think both of these pitchers are going to turn it around. Severino and
Paul Goldschmidt hit his 15th homer.
Yes, okay.
And you already said that, right?
All right. Jordan Walker ended his 17-game hitting streak. I don't know, is this the first game or the second game? I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Ended his 17-game hitting streak. He went 0 for 5. And Carlos Rodon is coming back in 6 days. We already told you, but it's good for reiterating it.
That's right.
And Anthony Volpe hit a go-ahead triple in the evening game for his 5th straight multi-hit game. He's raised his average from 193 to 220 in the last 6 games.
Yeah, so pay attention to Volpe if you need an infielder.
He's trying to keep his job right now.
Well, same thing with Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He had 3 hits in the second game. Yankees won for the 5th time in the last 7. Falefa is hitting .455. 7 RBIs in his last 8 games. And Lars Nootbaar homered from St. Louis as well.
Matthew Liberatore allowed 3 runs and 7 hits in 4 1/3. He has a 5.68 ERA in 7 starts and 1 relief appearance. He's only 23 years old.
Anybody in the chat room have Liberatore? Interested to see. He's been talked about. So much was expected of him. He really has done bull dinky so far.
Garrett Cole will face Montgomery today. Montgomery pitched 5 shutout innings against the Yankees on August 6th. That was 4 days after they traded him. On to Boston, Toronto.
Well, wait, let's say hello to Tito Luna and Jeter Luna. Good morning to you guys. Okay.
Yes. How old is Jeter Luna now?
I don't know.
He's got to be he's probably in high school now.
He's in his 20s, I think.
No way, no. Devers hit his 20th home run. Justin Turner homered and scored 3 times. And the Boston Red Sox, they spoiled Canada Day celebrations and beat the Blue Jays 7-6.
Verdugo has a team high 6 of Boston's 14 outfield assists. He threw out he threw out a runner on Saturday, but Jansen got his 17th save in 20 chances. Kenley Jansen.
He's going to be 12 in August. Jeter.
Yeah.
Jeter will be 12.
It's going to be 12. Matt Chapman hit a 2-run homer. Springer and Bichette had solo homers. The Blue Jays dropped to 16-28, all-time playing on Canada's national holiday. That's not good.
They had a sellout crowd of 41,813.
That's a lot of people there.
But the Red Sox are 6-0 against Toronto this season after losing 16 out of 19 last season. It's the first time Toronto's lost its first 6 games against the Red Sox in a single season.
Yeah.
The Red Sox right-hander Cutter Crawford pitched 5 2/3. That's the second time he won in 3 starts.
And Springer hit his 12th home run. But
also, let me say this.
Go ahead, say it.
Springer got his 56th career leadoff home run and 4th this season. Only Ricky Henderson has more leadoff homers than Springer.
But the bad news, Kikuchi allowed 5 runs, 7 hits. That's what you get for pitching every other day.
But he only lost for the first time since May 24th, so give the guy a break.
Still like Kikuchi. Struck
Don't
out
be hard
two.
on your boy.
Yoshida was the DH Saturday. Cora says X-rays on Yoshida came back negative, so he'll be back playing.
And Kiermaier returned to the lineup after missing 4 games from a sore back.
And Boston is 21-21 at Fenway Park and 21-21 on the road. How about that? And
Danny Fuller says I'm cutting you off.
You are cutting me. You don't let me talk. If I want to talk about Alex Manoah, who's going to start at Double-A
today,
his second minor league start, look out. Go ahead. Well, if he has a good start, would you take Alex Manoah?
No way.
No way.
His underlying stats are not good, dude. We told the chat. The chat room was privy to this, okay?
Astros and the Texas Rangers.
Eovaldi pitched 7 scoreless innings, American League's second 10-game winner. And
he'll make the All-Star team. He'll make the hasn't been announced yet, but he'll make the All-Star team.
The Rangers beat the Astros 5-2.
He struck out 5, 2 singles is all he gave up. He lowered his ERA to 2.64 with his 5th start this season of not allowing a run. He will be he could be the All-Star Game starter now that McClanahan is out.
Jonah Heim had 3 hits and scored a run.
Okay.
Will Smith then came in to get his 15th save and 16 chances. And my boy Hunter Brown, I'm a big fan of this guy.
Yes, I know you are.
He might not be having the greatest season, but he's a great pitcher. He struck out 6, 3 runs, 10 hits, 4 innings. It was the shortest of his 16 starts this season, but yesterday, the attendance of 40,380 was a record at Globe Life Field. It was the 7th sellout of this season and the second. Okay, how can it be isn't there only so many tickets to sell?
I don't know.
This is their 7th sellout.
Yeah.
But it was a record at Globe Life Field.
Well, they sell standing room too.
Makes no sense.
So that's something.
Okay, so it's not really a sellout then.
Well,
if it's not the firemen say you can only have so many people in the ballpark at the same time. So if it's a sellout, then that's it. You're at max capacity. But apparently that's not how they do that in baseball. I've never understood it, but I bet you that these people were going to this game to get out of the heat. Because it's nice and air-cooled in there.
I know Corey Seager has a 20-game on-base streak, the longest active in the American League. And Framber Valdez will miss his scheduled start today, okay? He has been bothered since he sprained his right ankle. So if you have Framber Valdez, take him out. Jeremy Pena out of the lineup for the second game of the row. He's got to step back.
And Andrew Haney pitches against we don't know who today.
Yeah. Go ahead. Twins in Baltimore.
Bailey Ober. Great outing by Bailey Ober. Allowed 2 hits over 7 innings. He made it through 7 innings for only the second time in 44 big league starts. He struck out 8. He did not allow any runner past first base. He threw 85 pitches, and most of them were exactly where he wanted.
Joanne Duran.
And Joey Gallo homered. Minnesota beat the Orioles 1-0. And that extended Baltimore's losing streak to a season-high 4 games.
Stop it, Eddie. Got to do something about it. All right, Joanne Duran got 3 outs to complete a 3-hitter. Got his 12th save. And you talked about Chris Gallo. Carlos Correa batted leadoff only for the 4th time in his career. First time this season. So let's see what they do with Correa to shake things up. And Royce Lewis.
It's funny. They're talking about in the chat room.
Yeah.
Okay. They're saying, that they hate the Houston teams, and then they're calling them cheaters and stuff. And then Leonard Donaldson says, yeah, they're the only team that ever cheated. Yeah. Well, if you weren't cheating, you were behind the curve, okay? That's all I have to say. If you weren't cheating, you weren't doing something right. Because if everyone else is cheating and you're not, how do you win?
I don't know how to win.
Go ahead, Leonard. I cut you off. Did I cut you off?
You cut me off all day, just like the Moyle. Royce Lewis left in the 3rd inning with a strained oblique. He's going on the injured list. Not good. Nats in the Phillies. Go, baby.
Wait. Okay. We skipped a lot of stuff in that game.
Well, you can talk about anything you want.
Alec Boehm homered twice and tied his career high with 6 RBIs. And the Phillies, they scored their most runs in 5 years. They beat the Nationals 19-4 yesterday. Kyle Schwarber.
Does he hit a home run every game, Kyle Schwarber? Doesn't it
He
seem
hit
that?
half the number of home runs of Ohtani this June, which is strange because
No
he's
kidding.
Yes, he's hit 7 home runs in June. Usually he
Wow.
hits more. But Castellanos having a great season, really, dude. He homered again, he singled, and he doubled. And then listen to this. They freaking pulled him out of the game before he had a chance to hit for the cycle. So 3 RBIs for the Phillies. They scored the most runs since a game in 2018. They had 18 hits yesterday, including 4 by Alec Boehm, who matched his career best. Philadelphia has won 6 of 8 and 12 of the last 16. And Wheeler, dude, I love Wheeler.
Yeah,
I'm going
me
to
too.
draft him
I
as
do
like my
too.
number 1 every year. Because
Okay.
you don't have to get him till like the 2nd or 3rd round.
I agree.
And he won.
I've been doing that already. You don't have to explain it to me. I've been doing it
Well,
every
he didn't
year.
start the season that great.
No,
okay?
we didn't. It was his 4th straight.
Gave up 4 runs and 7 hits in 5 innings. And Bryce Harper.
Is he going to ever be Bryce Harper?
They're saying that, look, they never changed on what they said at the beginning. They said that they're going to get him worked up to do some first base after the All-Star break, and they're still sticking with it. And no, he hasn't hit a home run for a long time, but he's still a team leader, and he's still very good. He drove in a couple runs yesterday.
Doubles have 2 hits.
Mackenzie Gord, 7 runs, 6 hits, and 3 walks in 2 2/3. His ERA up to 4.48. Not a great time for Gord.
Not a great
Started
time.
the season great.
Dominic Smith hit a go-ahead homer. He's still just hanging in there. Okay, so.
The Phillies scored 6 runs in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th, and 8 runs in the 5th inning. Okay, that's great. Schwarber, you already know about.
Yep, that's right. Milwaukee and Pittsburgh. Corbin Burns had a perfect game into the 6th inning, and then he lost his command following a lengthy break when Christian Yelich hit his 10th homer of the season. The Brewers held off the Pirates 11-8 on Saturday.
And Burns retired the first 15 batters he faced and then sat for the better part of 20 minutes while the Brewers erupted for 6 runs in the top of the 6th inning. And then when he returned after that break, he wasn't very good. But he did strike out 7, walk 2 in 7 innings. He got the win for just the 2nd time since May 12th. And
right.
He says 65 of his 99 pitches were strikes. And he did benefit from some great defense, of course. But the Pirates hit 4 line drives at 100 miles an hour or faster over the first 5 innings, and each of them found their way into the glove of one of Burns' teammates.
Jeremy Gibbs has joined us. Good morning to Jeremy. Dr. Jeremy Gibbs.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Who's Joel Payamps?
He's a closer.
He worked his 9th inning, 2nd save. So,
Yeah.
we'll
And
see.
the bullpen for the Brewers was not that good. They did
No.
try and squander their great lead that they had. So the Brewers bounced back from a walk-off loss on Friday, and they ended Pittsburgh's 4-game winning streak.
That's right. Home run by Yelich, 3-run homer in the 2nd. And then Ramil Tapia hit his 3rd home run. Willie Davis, Blake Perkins, Brian Anderson all had 2 hits for Milwaukee.
And Oviedo went 5 innings, 8 runs, 9 hits, 3 walks, and a strikeout.
Brian Reynolds remains on the 10-day despite being eligible, and everybody thought he was coming off. He's still on the injured list. And
Ben Sherrington says that he's hopeful Reynolds is not far away, but he said we're going to wait for him to tell us when he's ready. Can you imagine a player not being ready to come off the injured list?
If
Like,
he's-
they all think they're ready, okay?
Ji-Won Chun exited the
Ji-Won
game.
Bae.
Bae exited the game.
Where do you get
I have
Chun?
no idea. With a late heel injury.
Chun?
White Sox and the A's.
Good grief, Leonard.
White Sox and the A's. Tyler Wade slid into home with the winning run. Elvis Andrus, he's doing well offensively. Defensively, he's a mess. He misplayed a 10th inning grounder, giving Oakland the 7-6 win over my Chicago one. Not Daniel Ferrara.
Is he here?
Not Big Al. Not
White Sox.
White Sox Al.
Okay.
My White Sox lose on Saturday.
All right. Well, the A's got their first consecutive wins Okay.
I need to say first consecutive.
Okay, they won consecutive games for the first time since they did their one streak earlier.
All right, that's
and
better.
they also won for the fourth time in the last 16 games, but they're still on pace for a 44-118 record. Their crowd was 9,235. It was the 25th time their crowd was less than 10,000 in 43 home games. Seth Brown homered. J.J. Bleday had 2 RBI, and Eloy hit his 11th home run and drove in 2 runs, so you got that. Tim Anderson hasn't hit a home run in over a year, and he was actually robbed from a grand slam yesterday when they did a replay, and they decided it wasn't a grand slam. But, of course, people on Twitter were already saying that it was.
Oh, well, okay.
Anyway, Dylan Cease, 3 runs, 6 hits, 3 walks. What, Leonard?
No, now they're saying I'm cutting you off. What's going on? All right. Go ahead.
Just think of it like you're eavesdropping. Just pretend you're a fly on the wall, because this is how the conversation goes all day in our
Yeah, my
house.
fly is on the wall. Go ahead. Spin on the wall.
This is how we live, okay?
Go ahead. Seth Brown homered.
I already said that.
Bleday
Pay attention, Leonard.
Eloy hit his 11th. Did you say that too?
Yes, Leonard.
You said that. Keep it going.
Keep it
Dylan
going.
Cease. How about Kyle Muller? Did you get to that?
No.
Oakland's opening day starter recalled, and he pitched. You can't pitch. He's not fantasy relevant. Florida and Atlanta. Go ahead.
Holy moly, Leonard.
This is a tough morning. Thanks for being with us.
I think it's kind of fun, us.
We are just moving along. Acuna and Albies.
Why are you going so fast?
Because it's almost an hour.
Oh.
Acuna and Albies homered, part of the 6
Atlanta just keeps... We could just sum this game up that they just keep on hitting home runs.
Atlanta could be the best team in Major League Baseball. They are the best, but by far, they are so dominant, could be one of the best teams in many, many years in Major League Baseball.
Absolutely. And Cincinnati, though, could give them a run for their money if they get some pitching.
No way. Atlanta's got everything.
So does
they got the young player, and the Atlanta salary of $140 million is the same as the Mets for 6 players, including Scherzer, and we'll get to that another time, but that's
Charlie Morton's been in the majors for 16 seasons, and he says he's never seen a team like this before. Of course, because he's on the team. Acuna, Albies homered a 6-run first inning. The Braves beat the Marlins 7-0. Luis Arias, they keep talking about him every day. His average dipped to 388, dude. That's like
dipped. I know a lot of dips.
I know.
Okay.
Olsen's still having a great time. 2 for 4 with a run scored. Austin Riley, 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. The Braves have outscored the Marlins 23-4 in the first 2 games of the series, and they've won 23 of their last 27 games. All right, they lead the second place Marlins by 8 games in the NL East. Can you believe the Marlins? They're in second place in the NL East.
And here's the tough one: Yuri Perez.
Yeah. So he had a bad day.
He's going to be put on the bench.
Yes,
he will not pitch until way after the All-Star game.
I told you to sell him,
yep.
And I told you why to sell him. And if you didn't listen to me, you're going to be stuck with this guy who is definitely going to be on an innings limit. It has nothing to do with how good he pitches, because he's an excellent pitcher, but they are definitely going to rest him. He threw 35 pitches in a third of an inning. He gave up 6 runs and 7 hits. Who cares about that? But you should have sold him, because we knew from insiders in the clubhouse that they were absolutely going to start relaxing on him on his pitches.
And Unholy Toledo is so right. The Atlanta Braves, best organization in Major League Baseball by far. That's right, by far.
The Braves' 87 first-inning runs in their first 82 games, including 11 in the first 2 games of this series. And the Marlins designated Archie Bradley for assignment. Yeah. Remember when everybody was drafting him like...
That was 3 years ago.
No, that was Diamondbacks.
Archie Bradley was just designated for assignment?
Yeah, by the Marlins.
Holy mackerel. I thought he was out of baseball for 3 years.
Dude, give me a break.
Go ahead.
30th leadoff home run for Acuna in his career. All right. It was the 9th time they've hit back-to-back home runs in this season. The Braves are 8-1 against the Marlins.
They're killing them.
Yeah, they're just killing them.
They're killing them.
So they clinched the season yesterday, or the series yesterday, but today they'll go for a sweep.
Yeah. Okay. San Francisco.
Spencer Strider against Alcantara today.
Verlander pitched 7 steady innings, first victory in nearly 6 weeks. And
wait, say it.
Slumping Francisco Alvarez hit the first of 3 quick homers, so he did hit a homer. Nimmo, Lindor, and Alvarez.
Dave Sclafani not doing good lately. One of my favorite sleeper picks this year. He's had not doing well. He only lasted 3 innings yesterday. He went 3 innings, and he's 0-6 in 9 starts and 1 relief appearance against the Mets. But he hasn't been good lately. I don't know how long he's going to hold on to his job in the rotation if he keeps pitching like this. Adam Ottavino got his 6th save. And the Giants fell to 14-5 in its last 19 games, but that's still great record, dude, okay? And Conforto, he's still out. We knew he wouldn't play this weekend. Lamont Wade Jr. sat out with a back problem. It's been bothering him for a while. And we talked about Showalter and Quintana. He was sure that he was coming back by the All-Star break, but he's not sure now. We told you that yesterday. And today, Ross Stripling pitches against David Peterson.
And I've been talking about as Cleveland played the Cubs, I have been a favorite of Tanner Beebe for a long time. Beebe and 3 relievers, 5-hitter. Cleveland beat the Cubs 6-0. What? Anthony Toledo, what's wrong with your Cubbies?
They're
3-hit Marcus Stroman. The game was delayed.
Yeah, the game was delayed by 3 hours.
All right, the Cubs had matched the season high with their 5 straight losses after winning 11 out of 13.
They'll be fine.
BB, 5 2/3, his first scoreless outing. BB is a good pitcher.
Yes, he is. He walked the first 2 batters in the 4th, but then he retired the next 3, and his ability to get out of that jam is called mound presence.
That's it.
And Terry Francona mentioned it.
He's a good one. I like Tanner Beebe.
So Stroman dropped his 2nd straight start after winning 7 in a row. He 5 2/3, 5 runs and 5 hits. Mm-hmm. So Tristan McKenzie was in Cleveland. He got a second opinion on his strained ulnar collateral ligament. That's the Tommy John ligament.
Yes.
And so that's that. We'll see what happens there. But Seiya Suzuki was in the lineup as the designated hitter after missing 3 games. Patrick Wisdom, they say that the reports on him are positive. He's doing a rehab assignment. Tonight you get to see Savale against Jamison Taillon.
The Royals rudely welcome back Julio. I'm telling you, pick up Arias.
Nobody dropped him.
Well, in a trade. Pick him up in a trade. Scott Barlow, who might be a Dodger as early as this time next week, got the final outs for his 10th save. But Urias he struggled.
So what?
With his command, misfortune, struggled with the whole thing.
Now, Kershaw was actually out there playing catch for 3 straight hours. He walked off the field drenched in sweat. And Roberts later said that
How do you know he was drenched in sweat?
That's what I read.
Oh, okay, good. Good. All right, good.
They're probably lying.
Maybe. Maybe.
I mean, you got to believe something, right?
Drenched in sweat. I'm drenched
but
in sweat.
The point is, Roberts said that his session was just okay, that he felt tenderness in his shoulder. Even though he had a good start on Tuesday, he was given a shot to relieve inflammation on Wednesday, but he's still scheduled to face Pittsburgh tomorrow.
And Tampa and Seattle. Tampa coming back to earth. Just like we predicted.
Jared Kelenic, tie-breaking single off Glass now in the 6th inning. Teoscar Hernandez 2-run double in a 3-run 7th, and the Mariners beat the Rays 8-3 to stop a 3-game losing streak, and they could thank George Kirby.
And Sewald pitched for his 15th save.
Kirby only allowed 2 runs and 2 hits in 7 innings.
He's a good pitcher. Good pitcher. Same thing with Glasnow. Struck out 11, but he was pulled after allowing 3 runs, 7 hits, and 5 2/3. Okay, go ahead.
That's it.
We talked about Shane McClanahan. Now
Why are you way up there, Leonard?
Where?
I got all the games. Didn't we do all the games?
No, you got Detroit and Colorado coming up. We haven't done that game yet.
Okay, go
Zach
ahead.
McKinstry hit a tie-breaking 3-run homer. Detroit passed Colorado. Chris Bryant hit an RBI single off of Alex Lang. How about that one?
That was Detroit's 21st come-from-behind win this year. And they dealt their Rockies the first loss in 3 extra innings game this season. They had a 48,000 sellout crowd at Coors Field.
Why was there so many people?
I don't know, but baseball is not dying.
I don't know. Ezekiel Tovar hit a 2-out RBI single. I'm going to be talking tomorrow about the Fantasy All-Star team. All right? And I think Ezekiel Tovar may be on it, okay? He's got a hitting streak of 14 games. Riley Green.
I think Boston Paul's trying to give me shit about Franmil Reyes, and I don't appreciate it, okay? There was absolutely good logic behind my reasons to draft Franmil Reyes late.
You were wrong.
But he's... What?
You were wrong.
He didn't do good. So what? He cost $1 in drafts.
Riley Green.
Give me a break. You have to take a chance on someone, okay?
Heading to rehab. Brandon Rogers, sidelined since spring training, took batting practice. You never know.
Miguel Cabrera hit his 3,124th hit, and I will tell you now that Riley Green is going to a rehab assignment tomorrow, and we're inching towards getting him ready to go. I need this cat on my active roster immediately, okay? He's been out since all of June. Good grief, and that's that for that game.
Angels.
Ryan Nelson worked 7 1/3 innings. And he struck out Ohtani twice. Dominic Fletcher, Jake McCarthy had RBIs as the Diamondbacks beat the Angels 3-1.
And an answer to Malpal's question, who's going to close in Kansas City when Barlow gets traded? So, I don't know if it matters, but they got Amir Garrett is there too. He'll get some saves. You got Taylor Clark. I think it's going to be Amir Garrett and Taylor Clark, the lefty and the righty, okay? You could throw in Carlos Hernandez as well. But
why, you're already assuming that Barlow's going?
If Barlow gets traded, you want to be able to pick up the potential closer now instead of waiting, right? Okay.
Yeah, Meneses cost you a lot more money, Boston Paul.
Anthony Rendon hit his second home run of the season. How about that one? Scott how do you pronounce his name?
Magoo? I don't know.
He got his 7th save. Rendon, solo homer. He'd been struggling. 2 for 32. Pick up Rendon. Pick him up. And Corbin Carroll didn't play for the second straight game.
Yeah, Corbin Carroll has right shoulder soreness. He did not play for the second straight game, but Lavulo said Carroll was available off the bench after he participated in batting practice. So it seems, for those of you out there that are Corbin Carroll owners, managers, whatever is proper in this day and age, he looks like he is going to come back without having to take an IL stint.
And it looks like Zach Gallen
And Ohtani's going to have his next start pushed back to allow an extra day of recovery because he split his fingernail the other day.
Okay, Zach Gallen and Reed
That's going to be good. Poor Reed Detmers. Reed Detmers has allowed 1 run in his last 14 innings. Kudos to Reed Detmers, who tried really hard and put in a lot of extra effort this offseason to get better. He has to go up against Zach Gallen, who's trying for his 4th straight win, and that's going to be tough to do. But I'm rooting for Reed Detmers because I like his work ethic.
Love the Roto lady. We went 2 minutes over, but Big Al, who cares? Boston Paul, who cares? Chris from Cambridge, I care. Chris Gallo, Daniel Ferrara, Handsome Danny Fuller, Eddie Ekman, Jeremy George. Who's Jeremy George?
He's a new friend of ours,
He's
Leonard.
a great friend. Love you, Jeremy George. King Hap, Leonard Donaldson, Mal Pal, post 1958, 59, 60, 61, I can't read today.
Okay.
SM King Turks, All-Star Dog, Triple Play, Unholy Toledo, White Sox Al, Zelmo,
and Tony.
And Tony.
And Tina.
And the Hartson brothers. And look out, Tina. Love you all, everybody. And I'll be back again on the 4th of July. We're going to talk about...
But tomorrow, too, is the 3rd of July. You'll be back tomorrow.
I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what day it is. We're going to do our fantasy baseball all-star team tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. Love you all. And here's the phone number. We'll put it in the chat room.
And have a great Sunday,
Again,
everybody.
Once again,